What you call a young man curious? Drawing on a beat and you know I'm serious. Podcast only need 30 minutes. Experience, but I'm new to this business. About to start a project dependent on acquaintance from new and old business. I thank God for the vision. Every episode, new wisdom. We just talking about real business, like how they making money and how they living. I'm just trying to do something different, cause I'm just a young man curious. I'm just a young man curious. Yeah, I'm just a young man curious. All right, what's up, everybody? Today I'm joined by my boy Koop. Koop, go ahead and tell the people a little bit about who you are, man.
Hey, everybody. My name's Koop Mccallup. Well, it's Koop and Mccallup, but I go by Koop. I come from Odessa, Texas. I'm a basketball player out here in Australia. Moved out here about 2018, and just been knowing my boy Jordan shit my whole life. So, yeah, it's lovely to meet you guys.
Yeah, man, we go way back to Odessa, Texas, on the south side at the Woodson Boys and Girls Club, running around Woodson Park for the West Texas Swoosh basketball team. But really, man, we sitting down today because I started this project where I'm talking to people, catching up with them from different chapters of life, talking to people that I admire who are doing great things in life. And so I really want to give people a broader spectrum about who you are, how you got to the place that you are today. So tell us a little bit about your childhood, man, how you grew up, stuff like that.
All right. So me growing up, I didn't have the best childhood, I'd say. We did, everybody had their struggles and tribulations. Didn't have most as much kids did. I did have enough to be able to survive and still do the things that I did want to do as a child. I had three brothers. One which lived in Connecticut, so he really didn't get to see much, but I did have two that I stayed with. And also we adopted a little sister back when she was probably like 3 months old. But yeah, we just been basketball-oriented family. Both brothers played basketball, father played basketball, mom ran track. So it was always going to be an athletic family. So like you said, Woodson Park was just our safe haven to play basketball and stay out of the way of what kind of was going around, like keeping us away from what was going around us and staying out of the troubles that we could have got in. But thanks to that Woodson Park being open and Coach Pam, like you said, had us running around that park, kept us grounded to be able to pursue the basketball dreams that we all wanted to do as children.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. And I think you said something that's real key, how Woodson Boys Club and specifically Coach Pam too, probably saved a lot of our lives. Like we got good parents and stuff, but at the end of the day, parents got jobs. So we just out wandering around the South Side. And so they gave us something positive to do, somewhere to be. So definitely grateful for that, man. So cool, bro. We went to Permian High School. We hooped together there. Did some good things. We won a district championship there, went to playoffs twice. And so we had a good little ball club. But when you left Permian, talk to me about that journey, because I haven't really talked much to you since our Permian days. So catch me up. Tell me about college. Tell me about what that experience was like.
Yeah, I got you. So right out of high school, I signed at a JUCO with my brother at Trinidad State College. It's a JUCO in Trinidad, Colorado.
Richard?
I went there. Yeah, we were Rich, yeah. Cool. So I went there with Rich for 1 year, and then I transferred to another JUCO college that was in North Dakota, in Botany, North Dakota, which probably nobody in this world has ever heard of before. So I played there, and I actually had a quite decent of a season. So then once I played there for a year, I did get some looks to go to D2 college after that. But it was a class that I had to finish in college that I think I didn't pass. And then I had to pay for the class. So then that kind of like stumbled me from going to be able to sign in D2. So then in that time, I had met my baby mother and had a child. So then I kind of was just like juggling, was like, well, now I got a kid, like, can I go back to school? But then how am I going to support the kid at school if I'm only getting a FAFSA check, so that I can't support a kid on a FAFSA check? So then I just had to make one of the, I wouldn't say best decisions, but it's more best decisions that I'll tell you about that prior to that. I mean, after that. But This is one of the best decisions that I made. I was just like, I could use my basketball tape that I had in JUCO, and I could just try to go overseas with that, which I didn't really know much about overseas at the time. And a friend of mine that was in college, she had just went overseas. So I kind of like shout out to her, and I was like, hey, so like, what was the like process that you had to go through to like kind of like get your first contract on? So she told me at the time, the groups now on Facebook, they're kind of just like spam groups now. But at the time of when I was going into the group of Facebook, they had these overseas groups where overseas teams are like, you could just post your highlight in there and they'll just look at you. And there's certain overseas teams that'll watch the pages and try to like pick people up from there. This is like when the group was actually legitimate. So then she told me about that whole process, and she added me to the group because it was an invite only. So when she added me to the group, I posted my college highlight on there, best highlight I had. And I probably had to wait like 6-7 months. And in between time, I'm working at oil field jobs, security guard jobs, just doing anything to be able to support my son in trying to still go overseas and still play basketball. Because I wasn't ready just to give up basketball at that time. Right. I knew I still had something to give for it, but I wasn't ready just to like, all right, I'm just going to stay and work.
Yeah.
So then I'm chilling at a friend's house. We're sitting there playing 2K, and then my phone goes off. I'm looking on the Facebook Messenger. Some Hispanic dude I've never seen before sent a request on it, and it was like a request from like a week ago. And so I'm looking at it, and he's asking me like, "Hey, do you have a passport? Are you able to fly out in like 2 weeks to like come play a team in El Salvador?" I'm just like, "What? Like, how did I never come across this? Like, how did I miss this?" So I contacted dude. I'm like, "Hey, I don't have a passport, but there's a passport agency in El Paso that if you have like a real reason why you need your passport like that quick, then they'll just give it to you same day. All you have to do is go down there and pay for it."
Oh, that's wild.
So I asked him, so I asked him if he could write me up a contract, like a pre-draft contract to show that I am going to go play over there. So I could just give that to the passport agency, and then they can just give me my passport same day. So I took that, and me and my son's mom drove like 5 hours that same weekend to El Paso, got the passport that same day, and then I believe the team flew me out like that following weekend. And then now I'm in El Salvador playing basketball. I'm like, this has to be crazy. And this is like one of the bottom leagues. This ain't even like a good league, kind of like rough living, but we had one of the best houses to stay in because it was the imports. Yeah. So I'm down in El Salvador just doing my thing, playing basketball, not knowing it was way more out there than I thought. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm good in El Salvador. Like, this is where I made it for real. And so I played that season. I have a pretty decent season. I believe I averaged like 22 and 13. I had like a couple 40, 30-point games. So I was like doing my thing. But come to find out, like as I try to push that tape out, no other, like the real top leagues out in overseas league kind of didn't respect that league because I was just kind of like we play on concrete floors. They got good stands and FIBA stats, but like they're not like real respected league. Yeah. So then I'm not getting any looks outside of like once I finish that league, I'm not kind of like getting no more looks overseas. So I finished that league, and then I come home and I'm back to working a normal job. But at this time, I'm working at the Lil Woodrow's bar as a security guard, just working at the front door. Okay. To like 12 at night, 2 in the morning. I'm working there. And I think like a few weekends before that, I found out my brother had signed with the Globetrotters. I'm like, but that's crazy. Like, because, he does all the dunk shows and stuff. So he signed with the Globetrotters. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And so I'm working one night. It's probably like 7 p.m. I'm working at the door at Lil Woodrow's, and my phone started ringing. So I go outside to answer it. And hey, it's the H&R for the Harlem Globetrotters, Al Green. I just want to know if you got some time to talk. I promise you not. I said, yo, why are you playing on my phone? Like, who is this? There's no way this like the Globetrotters is calling me. And I don't even really be dunking the ball like that. Right. And so they're like, nah, you can definitely Google my name. Like, this is definitely like the Globetrotters. We have your brother here with us, and we seen your highlight tape, and we would like to sign you on with them because we never had like two brothers on the same team before. I said, yeah, that's crazy. So we get to talking, and then he was like, you think you can leave like this weekend and fly out to Philly? I'm like, Like just like that, you just gonna fly me out. Like I was just saying my heart. They said, yeah, we talked to your brother vouched for you and stuff like that. So I said, that's awesome. So I that weekend, and this is like 4 months after the El Salvador thing.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, they called me and they literally fly me out to Philadelphia. Nice hotel. And the crazy thing, only reason why I was so like a little bit upset is because the weekend prior to that, they played at the MSG. And I'm like, you couldn't call me like 2 weekends ago? Because that's the mecca of any basketball player's dream to be able to play. I don't care if we're doing a show or anything. To be able to play on that court is just phenomenal. So I'm getting to I get to play on the court like the next
Before you go too far, tell everybody what MSG is in case they don't know.
Oh, the Madison Square Garden. The mecca of all basketball courts.
Right.
Besides the Palace, it can't get no better than the Madison Square Garden. So yeah, that was the Knicks stadium. So I ended up getting flown out to Philly, and we play at the Wells Fargo Arena. First time I've never been to an NBA game before, never been even up close to an NBA arena besides like the Dallas ones that you normally go to. And I think I was at a bus stop in California. We went to the Staples Center, which is now the Crypto Center. So we went there. I've never been inside the NBA gym, but now just off of one phone call, I'm in the locker rooms. I'm in the place where all the players is eating. I'm just walking into the walkthrough of like where they come out at, and you just see everything. It was one of the best experiences of my life being able to play. And we played on the Wells Fargo Arena. We played in the Wizards gym. We was one of the last games to play at the Palace in Detroit. We played at the Barclays Center, which was just, I can't even explain the feeling you get playing the Barclays Center. That's when, in the Globetrotters, it's a really good experience as far as like being a basketball player and living like the real basketball player's dream. Nice hotels, food paid for. We get to go to that Washington D.C. Museum, the museum they got there with all the.
I know you're talking about the African American Museum.
Yeah, the African American Museum. We get to go there, but we going in there through like the back entrance. Not even like waiting that long line. It's just you get treated like so well. It was an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
After the what were you saying? My bad.
I was just saying that's dope, man.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy experience. And then the experience with my brother, who we both went through the same trials and tribulations, and now we both just sitting on this big bus, going to all these nice things. It was just a feeling you really can't explain. Definitely coming up how I came up. We didn't really have much, so then we just both we can't believe like we really doing this for real.
Yeah.
So we after the Globetrotters gig, I kind of like wanted to get out of like the show business and get back to like the more competitiveness of basketball. So then that's when I started pushing my tape again, but nothing clicked. I probably went to like Mexico for like they have little tournaments that you can go play in for some cash here and there on the weekends. But that was probably the closest I got to like the professional league. And then so I wasn't saying basketball was kind of like slowing down for me, but like the process of getting overseas was kind of slowing down. Because again, you're not playing competitiveness in the Globetrotters. So yeah, you got athletic and they know you got some basketball sense, but you ain't really playing seasonal games, like competitive games, 40 minutes, you know what I mean? So it's not that real basketball competitiveness. So teams aren't like looking for show players. So then that basketball kind of like was drying up, and then me and my son's mom kind of like wasn't doing too well. So we were just doing a co-parenting thing at the time. So then around that time, like that's when like my adult struggle started to happen. And that's when I started going through like not having much money, not having much funds to like really take care of my son as I wanted to. So then this is when I met my wife now, where she played basketball in Idaho State, but then came to JUCO at Midland College.
Okay.
I met her on like a group Snapchat that I seen that we had of like all the college people that we were in. We just always like did like little promotions and stuff you could do on there. Yeah. I happened to see her on her friend's Snapchat. And I don't know, that's the far as like the basketball. It goes further than that. But I don't know if you may talk about like how we met and stuff like that.
No, man, we could talk about that for sure. But before we get to that, I want to give you a kudos, one for chasing your dream, man. You know, a lot of people say they got goals and dreams, but don't really want to put the work in. Or like, for example, with the passport, just somebody could have made an excuse like, man, I'm not finna go get this passport. They're not gonna give me one, nothing like that. But you went out
No,
there to make
exactly.
it happen. And it's amazing how God opened doors for you to go to El Salvador first, but then also to play with your brother on the Harlem Globetrotters and get to experience really and truly the dream of basketball players, right? To live the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, to make the money, to have the experiences. And so
Yeah,
that's really dope,
exactly.
man, that you got to experience all that. And I know you got more to share in basketball, but go ahead and tell us a little bit about how you met your wife. I know that you said that, you know, you and your baby mama didn't work out, had your son. But tell us about those dynamics. Tell us about meeting your wife. Yeah, whatever you want to share personal
Okay,
wise in
yeah.
terms of your
No,
family.
I'll tell you, me and my wife, we're open book. She don't mind. I kind of already asked her prior to this anyway, so she's okay with it.
Hey, you a smart man. You
So
gotta
no,
ask.
like I
You gotta get
said,
permission.
you got to get the permission. So I told her, yeah, so I kind of, when I met her, like when I seen her the first time, I kind of like, okay, yeah, like, I like her and stuff. Like, so I'm gonna just like hit her up. I asked her friend for a Snapchat and stuff. So she gave me a snap. And I used to always just send her like good mornings with the sun. I ain't never try to like shoot my shot like that for real. I just always like send her good morning and stuff like that. And then we slowly, gradually got to talking more. So they were like, the more we got to talking, the I kind of just got the nerve to like ask her, like, hey, would you like go to the movies with me one night?
Yeah.
And I promise you, I swear I thought she was blowing me off because the weekend we planned to go to the movies. She ended up getting sick. But she's like, I can't go because I'm sick. And I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like, she's probably like not feeling me no more. Like, she probably just blowing me off. But come to find out, she did have strep throat and some more stuff. So I
She
was in
said
the clear.
you.
So yeah, that's what I said. So when after that happened, that next weekend we ended up going to the movies and everything like that. But prior to that, I ended up seeing her at like one of the clubs and stuff. And so when I seen her in the club, I didn't shoot my shot or nothing at her in the club because I wanted her to like truly understand it. Like I wanted to like be with her. I wanted just to do that little we met in the club type scene. I didn't want it to be that. I wanted it to be like that true like okay yeah this dude liked me for real, and he kind of like want to take it because I kind of already knew what I wanted to do. I
Yeah.
knew I wanted her to like be my woman for real. So we go to the movies and things like that. I try to do everything like the best way possible. I brought out the best game I had. I didn't do no extra things. I just tried to make sure, like, and at the time, I went to one of her basketball games, and I didn't even know she was Australian at this point. When I seen her on the video and stuff, I didn't even know she was Australian. We were just talking on FaceTime, and funny thing, I never asked her where she was from. Because I probably thought she was like from Idaho or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of them other states.
Yeah.
Not thinking it's this woman from a whole different part of the world. So then I go to her basketball game, and I wasn't really too fond of women basketball at the time. So I asked my boy Jawan, I said, bro, you want to come here to this girls' game? You know, I don't really like girls' game, but I'm not trying to go to Midland by myself just to be the only dude watching this girls' basketball. And he's like,
Right.
nah, I got to work. So I contemplated, I was like, do I really want to go? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go. Take the drive by myself. Go down there. I'm sitting in the only part of the stands where nobody's at, at Midland College. I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the stands. Girls' game don't really be too loud. So I'm the only dude sitting there. So we sitting there, and she's kind of like hesitant after the game. She's kind of like hesitant to come up talk to me. So she goes to the trainer, gets her hand wrapped and all this extra stuff. And she finally comes up and talks to me. I said, hey, what's up? I'm Koop, whatever. She said, hey, I'm Bianca, but with the craziest accent. I said, where are you from? And she said, I'm from Australia. And I said, what? At this time, I promise you, I didn't know what Australia was. I didn't know that was a thing, actually. It's just stuff I seen on the map. I'm like, you from Australia? And yeah, she just get to talking, and her accent was thick at the time. So I'm just like, that is crazy. So we just talking, not quite really understanding what we both saying because I got this Southern accent and she got this Australian accent. So we both got, can you say that again? No, what'd you
Got to
say?
use context clues.
Yeah, exactly. So we just get to talking, and then we just hit it off from there. And so then she so I think we're together for like 5 or 6 months. No, I wouldn't say together, but we're like chatting and stuff. So then I finally like asked like, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? And she said, yeah. And we're like, I'm at 20-something years old. And I'm trying to take it back as if I was a kid again. Like, hey, let me just find out how I'm going to ask her to be my girl this time.
Right.
So then, so I do that. And she said, yeah. So we kind of like get to hitting it off. And then Midland College was, her school was finna like stop. And so she was either going to go back home or just transfer to another D1. So once she makes that decision like to stay back here with me and just transfer to another D1. So she stayed with me and my mom for a little bit. And my mom wasn't quite too fond of her just because of like it's different ethnicity and stuff like that. So she wasn't really too fond of me having this.
Right. What mom say? She can't use your condom, don't bring her home.
Exactly. So she already wasn't too fond of it. So we kind of went through like that mom trials, tribulations of like my mom not liking her and stuff. And they got to a point where I even told her, I was like, yo, you kind of like, you don't got to go through this. You know, you can always just go back to Australia and you don't really have to like go through like my mom talking bad to her and stuff from time to time, you know? So she's like, like your mom not even gonna be able to take me from you. To her saying that, and everybody know my mom. If my mama can't run you off, I say, yeah. All right.
Good one.
Yeah, I like you already. So that was actually the first time I told her I loved her when she told me that.
Yeah.
I was like, man. So she ended up transferring to Sam Houston. And she's there for like, I say like a month maybe. And I'm like, a couple weekends I drive down there, 7-hour trip, come back, and I just try to like see her, still stay connected. So then prior to that, she went to Idaho State, but her coach was kind of like really disrespectful to like all the females there without putting a bad jacket on them. Just gonna say disrespectful. So then multiple of the girls left. And then prior to them leaving, she played in a league that we play in out here. But she wasn't getting paid or anything like that, but it's a professional league. And you playing in a professional league will mess up your college eligibility.
Right, yeah.
So then the coach ends up calling the NCAA, and this is 2 years after she left the school. She signs to Sam Houston, and the coach ends up calling the NCAA and was like, hey, this girl was getting paid over in Australia where she's from. She's not supposed to be playing D1 again. So he literally stopped her from being able to play at any D1 schools. Coach called her in one day and was like, hey, we have to like let you go because you have no more D1 eligibility. You can go D2, but you won't be able to play D1 no more. Wow. And that just killed her. Yeah. She was like not fond of like doing like, which she loved basketball like that, but like she didn't really want to just go because she had a look at Angelo State, but she didn't really like coming from Idaho State D1, then going to Sam Houston D1. She's like, because she just kind of got over basketball at that point.
Right. Yeah.
So then we moved. So she moved back with me in Odessa, back with my mom. So then that itself was like not working out. Like they just could not be in the same room together. So then I'm working at I get this new job at this oil field spot, and like her and my mom is just going through it. So at this point, she's like, it's like my mom not even letting her sleep there, and I'm working an overnight job at that point. So we really didn't have no else for her to stay prior, like if anything was to happen. So then her and my mom gets into a one-night bag, and I might tell my mom, like, yo, this ain't right. I kind of like love this woman. I know that I want to be with this woman. Like, I can't just keep letting you try to run her off. So she's like, well, no, she ain't gonna stay in my house. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna stay here neither. So then this is like 2 weeks that I'm working at this job. And like one day I have to like leave the job because they get into it. And I have to go like, I'm packing all our stuff. I pack all our stuff and put it in our black Nissan car I had. We bring it to the car. She's like goes to one of her friends' house that she knows in Odessa. And I'm working at the overnight job. And the overnight she didn't really want to stay over there. So she comes and sleep on the floor where I'm working at because it's like an empty building, no workers there. So I'm working at like 6 to 6, I believe. So this woman already going through trials and tribulations with me, not having to. Yeah. She just go back to Australia, this lovely lifestyle that she got and don't have to worry about this, but she's thugging it out with me. So I'm like, yo, like what? There's something gotta be telling me something. Yeah. So then I kind of just like, I have chats with Pache, some of my older mentors that I know back home. And I just tell them like, yo, I'm thinking about actually like moving to Australia for real. Like, I'm not playing. And this is the time I didn't know there's leagues in Australia. I didn't know there's basketball league. I didn't know anything. Honestly, was going to give up on basketball and just like work and build a different lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So then Bianca's telling me, she's like, yeah, I talked to my parents and stuff, and they're okay if you want to like try to move down there with us and things like that. So then I'm talking to like all my mentors, because this is gonna be the biggest decision I ever made. I got my family, my friends, my sons down here. Like, if I leave, I'm risking all of that.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, like, what do I do at this point? If I stay home and kind of be homeless because I want to be with her, but we can't stay at my mom's. So then I'm working at this job, and my brother allows us to stay on his floor at his apartment, 1-bedroom apartment. He lets us stay on his floor. Me and my wife just chilling there. And so I just say, you know what? I'm just take a leap of faith for real. I worked at the job 2 weeks. I think I got a check for $1,200. I bought a one-way ticket to Australia. This ain't round trip, so this ain't for sure that I'll be able to come back, because I don't know if I'm gonna make money or not down there, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to like depend on our parents. So like, you know what? I'm gonna just take the leap of faith and like see where it goes. And I'm in my mind, I'm thinking it can't get no worse. So if I go down there and nothing happened, I gotta come back. I'm already just gonna be where I'm at.
Right.
So it's not like I'm gonna be like losing anything besides like my family and friends. So I was like, that's just gonna be a risk I have to take.
A lot to lose too, though, you know.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So then I go and I talk to my son and his mom, and I say, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. And then she's like, oh, well, you know, she's not too fond of it. But I'm telling her, like, y'all, I can't really support him here and like do what I want to do, and I ain't got nowhere to stay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then she wasn't going for it, but I just had to make that decision on my own. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go. And so I came down here, and her dad had owned a pizza spot at the time. So I'm working at the pizza spot down here, delivering pizzas for him. I'm just driving all around these places I've never been before, just delivering pizzas. And then I built up some money, and we ended up getting a rental property down in Christie's Beach, is called, like 30 seconds from the beach walk.
Yeah.
Craziest thing I ever did in my life. I'm like, dang, I'm on a beach. I'm out here living on it. This is my first year. I think it took like a year to like get to that rental property, like saving up money, buying a car and stuff like that. So it was like, I didn't just come out here and just, oh, they gave me money and we just doing this thing.
Right.
I had to work. I had to like build up the cash. Me and her was working at the pizza spot at the time, just saving cash to like be able to like get a rental property.
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed at the rental property for like a year and a half with her father. And then we moved into the house that we're in now, and then we're still renting here. But at that time, when we was at the rental property, this is where my basketball dream like kind of like started to light back up. Because
so before we get to that, though, I'm gonna put
let's stop there.
I want to say that I really appreciate you sharing that, because now I got a greater appreciation for you, your wife, y'all's union, y'all's marriage, and y'all's family, just based on, obviously I didn't know any of those details.
No,
so,
for sure. A lot of people don't know.
I think that you definitely got you a good one, man. So that's pretty dope. And I love that you all both play basketball, and how you got to this point where you're now in Australia, right? You live in really took, like you said, this leap of faith, leaving everything that you knew behind. Nothing was guaranteed, right? Which, I mean, I feel like that's what great men are made out of, right? Taking risks that aren't guaranteed. Exactly. And then with the favor of God, they work out. So I'm really excited to hear about this Australian chapter now, bro. So you're in Australia, sure. You got the rental spot. Go ahead, bring us up to speed.
So this is how my basketball thing came back. So a friend that she knew, like a longtime friend that she knew, was a coach for one of the teams out here. But prior to me playing on that team, like prior to me doing all that, I was playing in like small little men's leagues out here, like just little rec, just getting up and down, having some fun.
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was like an actual professional league. That a friend that she knew was the head coach of one team. So she hit him up one night and was like, hey, Koop was just trying to like get some extra workout in. You believe that he just come out there and practice with you guys. He's not trying to make the team or nothing. He just wants to like come out and practice or anything. So they had a top league, and then they had the reserves leagues. For the reserves are like the people who really don't play, the ones that sit on the bench. They get to play every Tuesday night. And the starters and stuff play every Saturday night. And he's like, yeah, he can come out and play, but like the reserves team and the men's team is already filled. So like, hopefully he's not like looking for a spot or anything. And she's like, no, he just wants to go out there and train. That's all I wanted to do is just get her some run around there.
Right.
So I go out there and train, and I kind of like do my thing. And so but prior to that, I didn't even know nothing that they were talking about. She just told me, yeah, he can go out there and train, but she never told me that, like, yeah, he won't be able to make no team or nothing, anything like that, which I wasn't looking forward to. I just go out there and playing good. So I went out there and actually played well, and I guess I surprised him a little bit. And after the training, he ended up texting Bianca, was like, hey, yeah, I didn't know Koop was like that. So he can actually like play on our reserves team. So then at this time, it's kind of like frowned upon if American coming out here and playing on reserve. They're like, oh, he can't be that good because most of the Americans come out here are imports, which are like paid players that come out here and play. You don't get paid to play on a reserves team. So I'm playing on a reserves team for free while still working at my father-in-law pizza shop. So he ended up, I'll talk about that because that gets into my like the business and stuff. I'll just keep basketball. So I'm working on a basketball thing. And so he ends up telling me, like, yeah, he can play reserves for her. So I'm the only American in the league that's playing reserves. All the other Americans are playing Saturday night, getting paid. They come out and watch the reserves because that's their friends that they see play on a team. So I'm dominating reserves. I believe I averaged 30 points a game. We make it to the finals. We lose the finals, but I think we lost 2 games that season. So then that her friend ends up getting fired. And so I'm like, dang, man. So what's going to happen? And a new coach comes along. New coach calls me like, hey, I seen your reserve stats. I watched some of your games. Like, would you want to sign on with the team? I said, ain't that something?
Yeah.
I said, oh, I just put like that's why I tell kids, like, you put in the hard work, you'll never know what's going to happen. Like, you never know what's to come. So sure enough, they ended up signing me to the players team. Now I'm getting paid to play. So then I have my first year with them, and then that's when it just skyrockets from there. I believe I averaged like 18 at first, 18 and like 8. No. 11 and 8. That's my first season. Because it's a better league, you're playing against better players. So I'm still like getting my feet wet into the Australian game and stuff like that.
Right.
So I played my first year with them, a team called Southern Tigers. Once I played my first year, that head coach ends up getting fired too. So the new coach comes in, but he wants a whole different team.
Okay.
So now I'm back looking for another team. So I hit a few teams around, and we already got our imports for next season. But it was one team that didn't. Coach calls me and was like, hey, would you want to come out and play with us and stuff like that? So I signed with them, which is the Eastern Mavericks, who I played for last season. So now I'm dedicating myself, I got to be able to make my name here. So I won't have to keep searching for no team the next season come around.
Right.
I'm grinding in the gym, making sure my game is on point. And I end up this next season, I end up averaging 22 and 13. Okay. So I literally doubled both of my stats from prior to that. Yeah. So now they post me all on the NBL One page. I got number 1 player of the week, 1 week, just getting my name and rising my stock out here.
Right.
So now everybody in Adelaide knows who I am. Everybody knows I can play basketball and stuff. So then that's how I kind of came from the bottom and worked my way up to where I am now in the basketball world of Australia, just off of one practice that my wife got me. Yeah. So that's why I always tell people, you really can't do nothing by yourself. If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't even know how to contact the teams to get out and even want to train with somebody. Right. But the fact that she just got me out to a training, it wasn't like she just got me out there and you gonna make the team, because he had told her prior that I wouldn't be able to make the team. Right. But the fact that I went out there and just played my game, he was like, hey, look, he's better than I thought. Let him play reserves. Me playing reserves is what got me to be able to get on that team then.
Right. It made me think about a scripture in the Bible that talks about how your gift will make a way for you, pretty much is what it's saying.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Truly, God has done that, bro, by you really just taking a humble perspective, hey, I'm going to just do what I got to do to be with the woman I love, whether I got to deliver peaches, whatever it is, I'm going to do that. And then you just being you, putting in the work, great opportunities open up for you. So, all right. So you're now in Australia, you hooping now. Tell me a little bit about life in Australia, bro? Because I remember when you first moved out there, you used to be posting pictures, and you still do sometimes. Kangaroos just
Oh
in your
my
front yard. I'm
Lord,
like, bro,
bro.
that's wild.
That's the real Australian way of living. Is them kangaroos are like wild dogs out here. And well, no, I'm not gonna lie. At least where I stay, because I stay down south of Adelaide, so I stay like by the waters and the beaches. But back behind my house, there's like this great field of pastures of just fields back there where all the kangaroos kind of like live and reside in that area.
Right.
But in the nighttime, like come dawn time, they all hop up right in for this. It's a park right in front of my house, and they all literally just hop right across the road, hop down the street, and hop up on that park. If I was to go out there right now and shine my truck light, it'd probably be like 8 kangaroos just eating grass on that park out there. It's crazy. And so yeah, I'm driving home one day. Like I post videos. I'm driving home one day from practice, and it's just 2 kangaroos sitting right in the street.
Just chilling.
And I'm just chilling. I'm like, yo, this is actually crazy. Like,
Yeah.
we prone to seeing deer and dogs and stuff like that. You don't see dogs running the street. You don't even
Okay.
see cats. You legitimately see kangaroos. I'm talking. I got a video of a kangaroo just bouncing in front of my car as I'm driving. It's just bouncing right in front
That's
of my car.
wild,
I'm
bro.
like, it's crazy.
That's wild.
Like,
So
there's no
tell us more
way.
about tell us more about just the lifestyle in Australia, right? I know Australia is a beautiful place beyond the kangaroos. Like what's the cost of living like in Australia? What are the
Oh
people
man.
like? What's the culture like in Australia?
Okay, so like the culture kind of is like California kinda. It's
Okay.
nice, beachy type vibes, real city like areas. It's no like all the like pastures and stuff that you probably see on Facebook and stuff, like all the big, it's called the Outback. So Australia is built all on the coast.
Okay.
So there's like really nothing in the middle part of Australia. That's why they call it Outback.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why I say it's like Cali because everything is literally just on the coast, all by the water, mainly. So it kind of gives you like that real like some spots like Miami, some spots is like New York or like California. You don't get like the Missouri and the Oklahoma type cities out here because they're all just kind of like big cities. Because it's only four main. Wait, no, I don't want to lie to you. It's no more than 5 states. It's South LA, Victoria, New South Wales, Northern Territory, and one other one that I can't think of right now. But it's really a big country, almost the size of America, just built in 5 different states though.
Gotcha. Okay.
So and within them 5 states, like I said, everything's just all on the coast. So the cost of living, look, I think my wife just told me. She's in there listening. So she might have just told me how many there is, so I don't lie to you. It's 8 states, and she's laughing at me. So it's
Okay.
8 states. So yeah, so it's built on 8 states, but it's like big states. Like they're all kind of like Texas states. There's no like little small states here and there.
Yeah.
So it's all the cost of living, I'd say, is pretty high because we're in a different country. It's not like in America where it's like they just get everything imported. Some people out here got to make their own stuff. It's a lot of like um, local owned businesses out here that's kind of like got to import things. So that's why there's this American spot here that you can get packs of Kool-Aid, but the Kool-Aid packs in the small individual packs are $2.
Ooh.
Once you get back home to the 25 cents, 15 cents off the rack, they're literally $2. Bag of
Okay.
hot Cheetos, $8. But that's only one store though. And that's what
Jeez.
they only have because they don't have it around because you can't really import those things. So everything that you get here is either locally grown or like
Okay.
real. So it's like a really healthy way of living out here because they
Gotcha.
don't have like a lot of imported things. And then they don't have that many fast foods. They have like the big main fast foods as far as like KFC, McDonald's, and I want to say Sombreros, maybe Subway, things like that, but they don't have like the Chick-fil-A's, the taco. They do, but like not in the state that I live in.
I got
They
you.
don't have Chick-fil-A though out here. They're not really big on the fast food. They're kind of like big on like home cooked meals,
Gotcha.
locally owned businesses that you can like go and get their
Very different culture.
different, yeah, different culture foods, exactly. You gotta get the Indian foods. You can get the they have indigenous foods out here. Then they have their regular Aussie meals that they make.
Okay.
Which is the Aussie meals, which I'm kind of been grown to love and understand too, because they're quite different than what we do in America.
Right.
They just use all the different cultures, but like kind of put them together. You know what I mean? Into their own little way.
Yeah, you better. I mean, you better love it, man. You say you about to be a.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta stay here, so I just kind of just been known to like everything that's going on.
Yeah, you said you're about to be a citizen. I think you said earlier.
Yeah, I'm about to be a citizen this year. Actually, I've been waiting 4 years for that.
How long have you been in Australia?
Yeah, 4 years since November 22nd of 2018. Okay.
Cool, man. That's what's up, man. It sounds like Australia is a dope place. I want to go out there. One thing that has been a bit of a hesitation is that Australia has a reputation for being a bit dangerous because of the animals. Have you found that to be true or not really where you live?
No, that's not true at all. That's what I was telling you about. Don't believe what you see on Facebook. Yeah. Please don't. All them animals and stuff, you might find that in the outback once every blue moon. You know what I mean? Like, that's not like, that's why I say, because everything is on the coast out here. So when you come out here to Australia, you're not going to be going to the outback where you get the real wild kangaroos or the real big spider. The biggest spider I've seen was a daddy longlegs out here. You don't get them big spiders and nothing like that. No big snakes coming through the roofs and things that you might see on, you do see kangaroos fighting. That's one thing you will see. but other than all that, it's not, your people come out here and like all Americans that come out here love it. Yeah. Like, all the ones that come out here just want to stay and live out here. It's not like this dangerous space with all these different animals and things just going wild because the animals is crazy. It's like the dingoes and stuff. All that stuff is all in the outback, which everything's on the coast. So for them to even try to come in here, it'd be hard for them to get to us. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lovely, real lovely place to live. Real safe.
So what part of Australia should I visit?
So I'm gonna be honest, I only visited 3 parts of Australia so far. I've been to Melbourne, I've been to Brisbane, and I've been here in Adelaide. So I still haven't seen Sydney. I haven't seen Queensland is Sydney. And then there's Cairns. There's a lot of other places that you should go and see. But if I was to say come out here first time, definitely go see of course, the Opera House, which is in Sydney. Okay. Don't Finding Nemo, you know what I mean? That's the most tourist attraction exactly that you want to go see is Sydney. Okay. But that's if you do want to come out, definitely go check Sydney out.
Appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to bring us back, man. Thank you for sharing us a little bit about Australia and the lifestyle. So basketball, you still playing basketball, correct? Mm-hmm. Also, I saw recently that you you work on installing floors, correct? Mm-hmm. So firstly, don't tell us like how much you make basketball wise or your salary, but give us a little bit of kind of a range of like what people make overseas playing basketball in Australia.
So it's 2 different leagues that you can play out here. It's the NBL and then the NBL 1, which is the one I play in. The NBL, top American people that come over here come from the NBA. So they're on at least, I'd say, some you might catch for $1 million contract and some you might get for like $60K contracts. But in the league that I play in, you probably gonna get like, I'd say you'll probably be on like a 10 to 15K contract. Okay. So you're not making much money to where you can live out here. And if you want to do what I'm doing, you can't it's not much that you can survive off of. Like, just to be honest, we play because we love playing basketball, not because we make great rewards of money. Now, I am pursuing the NBL gig, to which I will make a lot more money than I'm playing now. But what I make, I'm gonna be honest, basketball right now is just like my side hustle prior to like you said, my store, like my floors installed, which the flooring was supposed to be my plan B just in case basketball just didn't work out, but it became to be my plan A, B, and now basketball is just my plan C that I just do for fun.
Yeah. Okay. Because now, tell us about the flooring piece of business and one, how'd you get into that? 2, break it down for us. I think it's very interesting because I'm somebody.
I definitely got you. Everything that I've done been through definitely has a little trials and tribulation story to it. I'll tell you that because I had to work my way up to everything in here. Like, because I'm American coming to Australia. Like, there was nothing given to me. at all. It was the hardest way of doing it possible. When I first came out here, like people really wouldn't hire me because of my visa status, because I was on temporary visiting visa and not on like a citizenship or permanent residency. They really couldn't hire me because it was kind of like too much paperwork to go through to have to pay me through the government.
Gotcha.
Because I needed like to pay taxes and things like that. So I was working with my father-in-law who, excuse me, who he was doing, he'd been doing carpet his whole life, but then when he started the pizza business, he stopped doing carpet for a little bit. Pizza business just got too much for him and he started getting a little bit older, so he just wanted to go back and doing carpet. So when we moved down here from up there, he shut the pizza spot and just mainly started doing carpet solely. So he was working through this carpet company that was like 20 minutes from our house. So I used to just go and like just do like little bits of carpet with him. I just like cut in some carpet, pick some trash up, help him carry the carpet in, just little stuff just to help him, but just earn me some cash. So one day we were sitting down and he was like, hey, I have a friend of mine who like lays floating floors, which is what I lay, laminate and hybrids. Yeah. And he was like, if you want to do that, they make almost like $200K a year. I said, they make who? I said, yeah, let him give him my number. Tell him I'll go do a little day with him. So he said, yeah, so he set me up like a little trial day basically. So I go and see if I like doing it. And then I can go take this course for it to like help me know everything about it. So I went with him and I did one day with him and I was like, yeah, this is all you guys do? He's like, yeah, it's like that simple. I'm like, so that's cool. So what I was supposed to do was I was going to go, so it's called a quick step course. It's literally like 3 days, $300. This is all I invested in doing this for him was $300.
Yeah.
I went and did the quick step course right after COVID. So when I went to the class, because I was supposed to work with him after I did the course, I was supposed to like go work with him, get paid hourly and stuff like that. So I go to the course, but I'm the only one in the class, just me and the instructor. So the instructor shows me everything I need to know within them 3 days. So I ended up asking him on the last day, I said, hey, so what would I need to do if I didn't say I didn't want to go work with this dude, what would I need, like the tools and stuff, just like start doing it on my own kind of. And then so the instructor got out every piece of tool that he thought I would need to like start up doing it on my own and took a picture for me. So when he took the picture, I sent it to my father-in-law. I was like, hey, if you have any of this, like let me know. And if not, then I could just buy the rest of the tools as I gradually like make money from Mike. And he'd been doing floors, like I told you, he'd been doing floors for like 30 years of his life. Mm-hmm. He said, I literally have everything in that picture. So I said, cool. And he ended up giving it all to me. But after he gave it to me and I did the quick step course, he sat me down. He was like, hey, like, how positive do you believe? Like, how confident are you in like doing the floors? I was like, I think I got it down. Like, I can work my way to getting better. He was like, I can start booking you some jobs through this business I have, which that normally doesn't happen for anybody. You would normally have to go through an apprenticeship for like a year or two before you can really start like doing your own thing.
Right.
But with the connect, I have my father-in-law who's already working for a flooring company, and he's like the dang El Chapo in flooring out here. Like everybody knows who he is. So he's like, I could just have him like book you jobs, like book little small jobs for you, like here and there, and then you could just like gradually get better. So I right after the course, literally like 2 days after, I had my first job booked. So I go do my small apartment retire village. I remember like it was yesterday. I go do it, and it's only like 30 square meters, which I can't tell you what that is in feet or yards, because they go by a different metric system out here too. Right. But it was just like a little small little apartment, basically, like a 1-bedroom retirement home apartment, like not big at all. And that job took me 3 days because I'm still learning all the things to do. So I'm like struggling here and there, breaking down like, man, I don't really want to do this. I know I should just went to go work with Mike. Like, ain't no way what have I got myself into? And my father-in-law used to always just tell me, like, nobody gonna do it good when they first do it. You always got to be able to like just work through it. Like, you're gonna be able to get tricks of the trade as long as you just keep going. Right. So then he booked me another job. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm holding the business up because I'm taking 3 days to do a smaller like job. He's like, it's all right, don't worry about that. Just keep getting better. He books me in another job, same retirement village. So I'm casually getting better. And then from there on, now I'm doing like I say like 50 square meters in one day.
Yeah. Knocking it out.
Just knocking it out now. Like, I'm just been doing it 2 years now. I love laying floors. Like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy like picking up the old carpet, putting down a new flooring, and just making it. And the people just love it too. Oh, my house looks so good, and all the compliments you get from it. People out here are just so lovely. You wouldn't think, because this isn't a very Black community out here. It's all white people. So you wouldn't think they see this tall Black kid coming in there. Like, they're not gonna be skeptical, like, oh, he gonna take something. They just leave me in their house by themselves. Yo, you want a glass of water? You want a cup of coffee? Here you go. You know what I'm saying? It's real trustworthy people. Right. That's why I like the lifestyle out here, because like you don't really get judged on who you are and what you look like. You get judged on your character and how you act. So as long as you act like a man, that's how you're gonna get treated as one.
That's what's up,
man.
Yeah,
I started doing a forum, and it has been going in from there. But there's another thing to that though. So once COVID hit, my wife, she was working at the dental spot. And my wife, we all went to dinner one night right after COVID, and she was like, hey, so what would I like? Because COVID, you really didn't like, people weren't going nowhere. So people was just all like, you wanted something done, it's kind of like all just like going through like online basically. So my wife, smart, so smart and hustle woman she has. She like, what if we start an online flooring business? So like, you don't have to go in those shops. You don't have to risk like getting COVID or anything. You could just look everything up on your phone. So my father-in-law was like, yeah, we can do that. And like I said, he knows so many people, and so many people know that he lays floors. So he already has to connect. All we needed was a supplier of floors and a website. Right. So my wife goes and makes a whole website, a whole Facebook page, Instagram page of our business, and then we started up from there. And it just constantly started going. Like people, like she just make little sales and stuff like that on Facebook, and it just constantly got better and better because it's already locally owned businesses out here. So people really support the locally owned businesses. Mm-hmm. So then after making a website and everything like that, and then COVID, nobody wants to go on the flooring. So everybody's just going to like the online. So now you don't really have to do anything. It's just online. So that's how we started our own business, which is Southern Direct Floors. Okay. So she literally just has a pleasure of sitting at home and just making so much money that she makes just off of doing little promotions on her phone, making sales on her phone. And then the crazy part about it is the only money that she has to pay out is to buy the product, which the people buy it from her. The product from her. And so she already just gets that. So the crazy part about that is when you normally have a business like that, like you have to go source out layers and tradies. Right. But the crazy thing is I lay floating floors. And then I've also taught myself to lay like vinyl floors and carpet tiles. And my father lays carpet and vinyl floors and carpet tiles and everything else. So she literally just, whatever job that comes in, me and him lays it. Right. So it's literally like that Nipsey Hussle way of saying all money in and no money out. Yeah. So the money that she would have to pay to like another trader that she would have to source out like other businesses do, she just pays me and my father. Right. So that's why it's kind of like real lucrative in a sense, because you don't have to pay outside of the family. Yeah. That's so smart. Like, that's dope. Yeah. So that's what I thought that's why I say I literally like struck gold with this woman, because not only does she have that hustle mentality, she knows what it's like not to have nothing. Right. She knows what it's like to like go through that trial and tribulation, definitely being in Australia, because she never went through that before and didn't have to. Yeah. So yeah, she started that business up, and it's just been going ever since. So now we're in a position now to where we're in the process of buying. We already bought the land, and now we're about to build our house out here. Okay, so that's awesome, man. Kind of that forever home now. Yeah. So I was telling my people back home that like we have that, like you'll never be able to be, and that's like I said, that's that leap of faith that I took 4 years ago and told my family, like, look, I'm gonna make sure I go out here and nobody will ever have to be in a position that I was in. You'll never have to be able to sleep on the floor. You'll never have to be able to like not have anything, because if it all goes bad, they're all on my citizenship application. So my mom, my grandmother, and all my brothers and sisters can come out here and be citizens just off me.
Oh, that's what's up.
They can literally do what I did,
Wow.
but it'd be a lot easier to do. You know what I mean? Because
That's
now
crazy.
we have a Mccallup house out here and Mccallup land. I ain't got to build a house on the land. I just build a whole shelter and just put all my families in there if I want to.
Yeah.
But we're gonna build our house, and now we have that forever. Like, can't nobody take that from us. And we have that stability of like, if anything goes bad, if anybody was to ever just be down and out, you can just come out here. I'll buy you a plane ticket and you can just start life over just as I did. But it'd be easier because I have a business and a home that you can live in.
That's
you know what
up.
I mean? So I was kind of like that risk taker for my family, and it kind of paid off.
That's what's up, man. That's amazing. The legacy, changing generations, bro, and really your entire journey in Australia, bro. I can't stop smiling, man. I'm proud of you, and it's amazing to hear that. All I want to know is that when the Mccallup Palace goes up, can I come stay for a couple of days on vacation? That's what I want to know, man.
Look, you definitely can come stay. You definitely, it should be done building in this year, but you definitely can. All my friends, I tell my friends all the time, you definitely just got to come out. No, you don't got to pay accommodation. My wife cooks really, really good, so you ain't got to worry about food. You just come out and just have a great time living Australia life.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Well, I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but there's two things I want to talk about before we hop off. One, tell us a little bit about married life and fatherhood. And then after that, tell us what's next for Koop in the future. I know you talked about the NBAL.
NBAL, yeah, I got you.
So tell us about those two things, and I'm gonna let you go, man. I know it's late there.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. Look, I enjoy always catching up and being able to give my story out to the people so they can see that, like, oh, well, he just didn't just go out there and like he really went through something to be able to like get where he at. So if you ever have a story that, you know what I'm saying, that you have, you can know that like, if you see me living like this, it wasn't just because I just got it made for me. Everything that I had to go through, I had to work through. And you can see this is gonna show you don't stop whatever you're doing. But the married life, man, as you know, I love it. I love the married life. That it's the life that you like. The life I'm living is the life that you always like dreamed of as a kid, that you see on TV, to like come home, kids is there, and you just have that wife in the kitchen and stuff like that. That's how it is. Me and my wife got married 2019, January 30th.
Okay.
So we've been married a little bit over 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years. Let me get that right before I get in trouble. We just had an anniversary last month. So yeah, we've been married 4 years. It's been going great, but it's not perfect, of course. It's not like we just happy-go-lucky family all the time. You're always gonna have arguments. You're always gonna have to go through things, but that's what marriage is.
Yeah,
marriage is work. It's not like it's just gonna happen, and you gotta keep constantly knowing each other. And we're trying to put two different worlds together.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, I come from Odessa, Texas, and she come from Australia, and we're trying to gradually still put them together. And now on top of that, having my daughter, we're trying to we have two different ways of raising each other. Like, I have my way of being raised and she has hers, and now we're trying to connect them two together, which she may think that some of the things that I do is a bit harsh, and I may think some of the things that she do may be a bit soft. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of like another part of like being married to definitely a different ethnicity, let alone a different, how would I say it? Foreign woman, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the foreigner actually, being out here. So we're just trying to gradually put them two lives together and making sure that she has the best way of growing up possible, which I believe works perfectly, because if you add my trials and tribulations and know that how I like to get through the struggle part with her, like being able to like take trips and go on like that real like family life way of living, and we put both of them together, we won't build a spoiled kid, but we'll also build like an independent woman who knows how to enjoy life as well. Instead of just surviving, she'll be able to live life, but appreciate it more. Rather than just, oh, well, I'm born this way, so I just get to have this and that. But as far as like the married life, like me and my wife, we've been going strong. Like we're definitely gonna be going for forever and a day, if you ask me, just because like everything, like I said, our whole story, like we can write a book on that if we want to. You know what I mean? Like, we just both been through that. So we know nothing is going to be easy. We know that the marriage life isn't going to be, we're going to have times where you might not want to talk to each other, but we know that's marriage. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing going to always be that glitz and glam.
Yeah.
But like I said, I love this woman to death, you know?
You're definitely right about that. It's any relationship is work to make it, you know, continue to make it work. And so that's good. I'm glad to hear that, man. Tell us a little about fatherhood. I know this time is different than when you had your son. So tell me about fatherhood. Cause I got 2 kids myself. And so I know a little bit about it, but go ahead and tell me what your experience has been like.
No, so like the first time I first go around about me being a father, that was, I guess, my trial. That was me learning everything and like learning what I'm not to do, what not to do. And then I didn't really get to have that full experience in that me and her son's mom, like we didn't really be together that long for us to like build that like family type vibe. So like, that's why I just want to bring my son up, because I don't want nobody to think that, oh, well, he just don't be talking about his son. I talk to my son every day. I buy him whatever he needs for school, still take care of him, just still living out here. But like you said, this time around, it's a bit different, because now I'm not in a survival state of mind. I'm in a living state of mind, and I can think 2-3 years ahead of time. And I could think like, what can we do for like school? So we already kind of enrolled her into like school and everything now, enrolled her into private school and stuff of that nature. And I could just have that full father experience while still chasing my dream, because I couldn't do that playing overseas ball in America. I would have to leave and then come back, leave and come back. But being able to do that here, I get to have that full, see all the milestones, see the 2 teeth coming in, see the top teeth coming in, the starting to crawl, the little head nods, you know, just the little things that the babies do as they constantly like build the milestones of being adults and young children that I didn't get to see with my son the first time, because I was chasing my dream and trying to survive in life.
Right.
So this go around is like, I'm new to everything. So when she's doing stuff like this, I'm just really engaged in it, because I had a kid before, but I didn't get to do it like this. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't have that security of knowing that, okay, everything is good. I can actually be a father. So that's the best part about it, is that I get to really be that dad that come home, have her smiling big smiles when she sees me, just being able to really know that she wants to see me once I come home and things like that. That, you know what I mean? Like I said, that we seen in the movie, like, honey, I'm home, and then the kids come running up to you and stuff. Like that's one of the best feelings, because that's what I chased when I first came out here. I didn't come out here to chase that basketball way of living. I came out here to like build that stability and that family man life. Right. And now that I got to put both of them together, it's just an amazing feeling that I just get to come home and just get to see my baby girl playing in the living room with my wife, or there, you know what I'm saying? The little things that I didn't get to see when I was a father the first go around, because I was surviving life and not living. Yeah. So this go around has just been a real eye opener to me. Like, basically, like, I'm a new dad again. Like, I've never been a dad before. So it's like you said, it's still all new to me. Right. And stuff like that. And she's a girl. So that's a whole other level. Right there. A whole different level. Because I'm raised around all boys, 3 boys. And then we had my little sister, but that was more like my parents and them doing. Right. And then I had a son, then my other brothers had sons. So I'm thinking like, oh, I can't breed no girls. I don't know, I'm gonna have me a boy out here. And sure enough, God said, I got something for you. And he brought my daughter in here, which she's, oh my God, so gorgeous. We got really blessed to how she is. So, and she's a good baby. She sleeps well. And even then, like, the little sleeps, like sleeping with him, and then like gotta wake up in the morning, put him back to sleep. Like, those things like that, I admire those things and I cherish those things, because I didn't get to do that before. Right. So yeah, that fatherhood out here, like, just the second go around is like a first time go around for me, honestly. And it's good that you cherish those, right? Because those moments, they swiftly pass, man. Well, so last thing I want to talk about before we hop off is what's next for you, man? I know you talked about like we said before, the NBA L1 contract. So, so right now I'm about to sign, hopefully, I'm going to sign a 2-year deal with this team out here, which that's rare for Americans to do. But now that I'm going to become a citizen, I'll be able to sign that and be a citizen for next season. Okay. So I want to be able to sign a 2-year deal with them, but also I want to try to pursue in the NBL, because I'll get my citizenship. So it'll be I wouldn't say easier, but it'd be a bit better chance for me to make it instead of having to compete with the resumes of NBA players, ex-EuroLeague players, ex-NBA players, you know what I mean? To only have to compete with Australian players. So I have that up on like being an American Australian, and which kind of like which makes the team kind of like look at me a bit differently. And I've already had like some workouts with the NBL teams here, and I've been training with a NBL team here with the 36ers. I mean, I've been like doing little workouts here and there with them. Like when their players need some extra runs, they'll call me and a couple other guys up. We'll go run with them. I had a run with them for like the top Adelaide guy a few weeks ago, and I actually won that competition. And there was the NBL players that plays on the team was there, the DP coach and the assistant coach. So I'm just casually trying to like build my resume up with them to show that I'm a great basketball player, great person. And then hopefully I'm praying that I get a look this next season coming up this year so that I can like just that like get my foot in the door, even if I get a like practice player gig and it's like I did how I did here. Start practicing, work my way up slowly but surely to becoming that contract player. I've already did it before, so it's not like I can't do it again, but it's just being a higher level.
Yeah.
So the NBL is just like NBA for Australia, basically.
Okay, cool, man.
So that's my next, that's my next goal. Besides like building the house and like trying to build the business brand, I'm just trying to make that NBL. And even with making the NBL, I'll still do a little flooring, but I wouldn't have to do. I wouldn't say have to do. I wouldn't do as much because I'll be traveling and stuff with the team and things.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's my next like goal of basketball sense, like trying to make the NBL. Yeah. But the business side of it, I'm trying to. Right now, I'll probably say in like a year and a half, I'll like hire 2 young Australian kids that I know, and I'll bring them on and teach them everything that I know, and then start getting them to like work under me. Okay. So then I can start doing more jobs and stuff like that, and then I could probably go play NBL and not have to lay floors, and then just have them lay the floors and things like that. You know what I mean? So I can still keep that business going, because I have my own business, which is Koop's Flooring, which is like the sole contractor business. But I'm also in the Southern Direct business as well.
Gotcha. Cool, man.
So that's what I'm just trying to build that up as well. But yeah, those are my next, I would say, year and a half, 2-year goals of like what I want to do in my life from here on out.
Yeah. And I lied. I got one more thing I want to ask you about. I know you're a person of faith. Are you still a Christian? Tell me about that journey, being in another country, because I know different countries have different, religions sometimes, so they observe different practices. So tell me a little bit about your faith journey.
There's one thing that I won't ever do is I'll never stop being a Christian. I don't care where I go. I go to China, I go to Europe, I go anywhere. Me and God are gonna always have that relation. And her mom is a Christian as well, and they have like I wouldn't say American Christian churches, but they have Christian churches out here as well. Okay, so I try to get out to those as much as I can with them. Her mom goes to church. My daughter would be getting baptized at her mom's church. Like, we're definitely still wholeheartedly Christians. And my wife, she wasn't even really like a church going person like that until she met me. But I got her more into like the faith and believing of everything like that. Well, she believed, but like not like church and stuff like that. So I've been casually getting her more and going into church and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm definitely wholeheartedly and will forever be a Christian. Because look what God's done for me. I'd be a fool to be able to get here and just be like, oh, well, I kind of did all this on my own. If you seen everything I went through, ain't no way I'm supposed to be here if it wasn't for God. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that I'd be able to have done. I wouldn't even be able to took this leap of faith or even met this woman if it wasn't for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So I know who did what for me, and I ain't gonna never steer from that at all.
Hey, praise God, man. I'm happy to hear that. Continue in the faith, man. I always tell people it's not easy, but it's always worth it. Man, I'm going to get you off of here, but I really appreciate you taking time to be here. I know it's late there, it's early here, but
yeah, it's 11 p.m. here.
Man. I want to give you a kudos, let you know I'm proud of you. Keep on doing the great work, bro.
No, I appreciate you, bro.
We'll definitely be in touch, man. Watching the journey. Looking forward to seeing Mccallup Palace or whatever you call it, the Mccallup Estate.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Looking
sir.
forward to that coming up, man. So God bless you, bro, and take care.
No, I appreciate you. You have a good one.
You too.
Thank you for joining the I'm Just Curious project. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope it leaves you inspired to live curious.